holidays everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making a jalapeno popper dip that would be perfect for any of the upcoming holiday parties that are going to be going on, or even next month's Super Bowl. For our ingredients, we are going to need 2 bricks of room softened cream cheese, 6 jalapenos that I've gone ahead and diced up. I did leave the seeds just in one of the jalapenos to help control the spice level. I want this spicy, but I do want to blow everybody out of the water with it. I've also got 1 cup of sliced green onions, a half of a cup of mayonnaise, and a 1/4 of a cup of sour cream to help give us a little bit of a tang in there. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder and 1 tablespoon of onion powder. We're also going to need some salt and pepper. 1 4-ounce jar of diced pimentos. These are going to add a nice contrasting color, plus some good flavor. And if you didn't want to use these, I've certainly used a can of the diced hatch green chilies in the past, and it turned out amazingly well with those. I've got a half of a cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Now we're going to need probably about a cup of mozzarella, maybe a little bit more. It's all going to depend when we get to that part. And I've also got 1 cup of bacon that I've gone ahead and lightly browned up. And those are all of our ingredients. So let me go ahead and move you guys over to the stove where we're going to go ahead and start softening up our jalapenos. So over here at my stove, I've gone ahead and reserved about one or 2 tablespoons of my bacon drippings. And I'm going to go ahead and just add in my jalapenos. And I'm going to allow these to just soften up a little bit, probably for about 3 or 4 minutes. I don't need to cook them all the way through. They're going to cook a little bit more once they're in the oven. But I do want to get a nice head start on them. Alright guys, so I went ahead and let these go for about 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and transfer them back in my bowl. I'm going to leave any of that remaining bacon drippings behind. We do need to add that into our dish. So let me get these all transferred back in here, and we'll move back over to the counter and get the rest of our dip assembled. So I've gone ahead and started creaming my 2 bricks of cream cheese together. And I'm going to go ahead and add in the mayonnaise and the sour cream. By going ahead and mixing in our sour cream and mayonnaise now, it'll just make it a little bit easier for all the other ingredients to get fully incorporated. Don't worry if it looks a little bit lumpy right now. This is all going to smooth out as we add the remainder of our ingredients and as it bakes in the oven. But if you're really worried about it, you can certainly do this part with a hand mixer. The next thing I'm going to add in is my garlic powder and onion powder. And I'm going to go ahead and add in a little bit of black pepper. I'm going to hold off on adding in the salt until after we get all the cheese in. And then I'll go ahead and taste it and adjust it for seasoning there. And again, I want to go ahead and stir in my seasonings until they are fully incorporated. That way I know they're evenly distributed throughout all the cream cheese mixture. And that is looking pretty good to me. So the next thing to go in is going to be all our jalapenos, the jar of pimentos, my green onions, and half of the bacon. And now I want to go ahead and stir these until they're well combined. Alright, it's time to go ahead and add our Parmesan cheese in and the mozzarella cheese. And again, I'm going to add about a cup or a couple of good handful sizes of our mozzarella cheese in there. Then let's go ahead and get this all stirred together, and we can go ahead and transfer it over into our serving dish. Before I transfer this to the serving dish, I do want to taste it for seasoning. And I think it needs a little bit of salt. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a nice healthy pinch of salt. Once you're happy with the seasoning level of your dip, go ahead and transfer it into an oven-proof casserole dish, and then just smooth it out so it's even throughout your whole dish. And then I think that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to go ahead and top it with just a little bit more of our Parmesan cheese. Just going to go ahead and grate it right here across the top. And you really don't need a whole bunch. I mean, there is a lot of cheese in here right now, so, but just enough to give it a little extra added flavor across the top. I think that looks pretty good. I think I added probably about a tablespoon or so of additional Parmesan cheese. And the last thing we're going to do is top it with the remainder of our bacon. Alright guys, our dip is ready to go into the oven. I'm going to be putting it into a 350-degree oven for about 30 to 35 minutes or until it's nice and bubbly. So I'll see you once it's out of the oven. The jalapeno popper dip is out of the oven. I did let it sit here for just a few minutes to kind of cool down just so it doesn't burn my mouth. I'm going to be serving it with some tortilla chips as well as some crackers. You could also use toast rounds. Those work really well with this. I cannot wait to get in here and try this. It smells so good, y'all. Oh, look at all that cheese hanging off of it. I did sprinkle a few fresh green onions across the top. I just like that nice cold fresh bite of onion with it. This is so good, guys. I've got to go back in for another chip. It is really, really addictive. All the flavors I look for in a jalapeno popper are certainly present in this dish. And yeah, I definitely think it would make a great addition to your next holiday party or Super Bowl party, as the case may be. And if for some strange reason you have a little bit of this left over when the party's done, what I like to do is boil up some noodles and mix them in with this, and you get an incredible bacon jalapeno popper mac and cheese. But that is going to be it for me for the day. If you guys would like to be a part of the Gamers and Geeks playlist, leave me a comment down below and I'll be more than happy to tell you how you can be a part of that list. Speaking of the playlist, I'll be leaving a link down in the description to it. As always, please go and check it out and help support all the fine creators that have helped make that list possible. If you guys have enjoyed this video, leave me a comment down below. If you guys tried this recipe out, let me know how it turned out for you. And as always, thank y'all so very much for joining me today. I've been Vault Girl. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.